Hi guys, it's me again, I'm Dan and welcome back to another video. So today I'm doing a very important vlog. So basically the current situation is it is Tuesday the 2nd of April right now. And tomorrow, on Wednesday, the 3rd of April, I am having my second liver biopsy. So I didn't really give much of an indication of what was going on the first time round because I didn't really know anything about it and I was getting really het up about it. This time I would like to be as informative as I can be about it all. And basically what the situation is for around the last 5 years, I have been getting investigated for an autoimmune liver condition. They don't know what it is. They know more now what it is, but they haven't been able to give me a diagnosis yet. So it's been a long road. About 3 years ago, I was told I would need a liver biopsy and I really could not process it. I was like, I don't understand what that means for me and what it would entail doing it. And then after that, I was told that it didn't really give enough information to warrant giving me a diagnosis because they saw very mild scarring, but it wasn't really enough. So they didn't know why. They had ideas of what it could be, but at the time, because I've told them I felt I was feeling better, which I was at the time, and went on to be feeling for the next 2 years, I told them that I would get annual blood tests to look at where my liver function tests were at. They agreed. So in that time I had blood tests sort of in July for a couple of years. And then in October last year, I had a really bad bout of sickness. And ever since then, my health has gone downhill again and has almost had the signs of what a flare-up would be with whatever condition I have. It's kind of very much had kind of a flare-up at the moment. That's been going on for a good sort of 4 or 5 months now, and yeah, it's been very difficult. So what they have said is through a number of blood tests, which again have shown that my liver function tests are high, that I needed a second biopsy. And so that's where I'm at the moment. I'm getting prepared to have my next liver biopsy, the second one I've had in 3 years. That is tomorrow, and I am feeling quite anxious about it, if I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't know whether to film this after or whether to just do kind of a whole process throughout, but I decided to do it this way and start beforehand so that I can obviously film through it. I would have filmed through it anyway, but I would have just started from tomorrow morning. I'm going to film the entire process from now through tomorrow and a little bit of the recovery process as well, just so that I can give you an idea of what it's like. Hopefully, if anyone else is needing to have this, it will be able to help them get an idea of what it is like to have the biopsy done. After the procedure tomorrow, once I've sort of got home, got my head around it and just had a bit of a rest, it may be tomorrow or maybe the day after, I will likely give you a bit more information on what has actually happened and how they do it. So yes, what I've also had is that I've been prescribed some diazepam and some anxiety medication to help me get through the procedure because I am someone who suffers with heightened anxiety and specifically heightened health anxiety. So whenever I'm in hospitals or when I'm having procedures done, I get like extremely anxious. I get the shakes, I feel thoughts running through my head a million miles an hour. So it's very difficult for me. I don't know why that is. I don't know a specific reason for it or not. I haven't figured that out yet, but it's something else I want to look into. But for now, the fact of the matter is I do get anxiety a lot. So I have been prescribed that. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an introduction to the vlog and a bit of an insight into what is going on for me at the moment. Yeah, hopefully this is as informative for all of you watching as possible. Either whether you're watching to know how I'm getting on or whether you're watching for yourself and are also having this procedure done. Whatever reason it may be, I hope this is really informative for you. And I hope that you get something out of it. I guess I'll see where things go. If I have any more updates today, then I will turn the camera back on. If not, I guess I'll see you tomorrow. It's a difficult process, guys. Very difficult process. Right, I'm just going to head to sleep soon, but I just thought I'd give you one last update. Yeah, basically for the rest of the night, I try to keep myself occupied just because if you're someone like me who has a lot of anxiety before a surgery or procedure or something like that, that's the best way, I think, as a general rule for anyone who has that, because distracting yourself just takes your mind off it completely. So there's no one who that's not going to work for. Like, I don't believe. I mean, I've just completely distracted myself, and I've also had a shower to get fresh for tomorrow and feel like comfortable. I've had a shave as well. I'm pretty much set up for tomorrow. I just need to do a couple of things tomorrow morning just to prepare everything. It is going to be a difficult day tomorrow. We'll see what it brings. Good morning. So firstly, I just want to say from here on in, ignore some of the things that I might say just because I'm now on anxiety medication. It may make me mess my words up a little bit. I'll give it my best shot. Today's the day of the biopsy and I'm going to do my best. I've got up, I've taken my first anxiety tablet and I can't eat beforehand, I don't think, so that's quite annoying, but oh well. I shall persevere. At least I said persevere, but right. I was going to combine persevere and prevail, but yeah. I have to just sort out a couple more things in the house, then take my last tablet before I go, get myself a bag together for when I'm in hospital, give myself some couple things to do. I'm going to be in pain later. Haha, that's so fun. Okay, it's now 8:51 and the medication has well and truly kicked in. I have not felt so relaxed in my entire life. I don't think I felt this relaxed last time. That's good to me, that very much helps. And then I'll be taking another one just before I leave the house. Pretty good stuff, pretty good. Yeah, you would not think that I'm having a surgery today based on the way I'm acting right now. Nonetheless, I am. I'm probably saying things right now which sound really perfectly legible to me, and then actually when I watch them back, they'll just not be. Right, so I've got another update. The hospital have rang me up and they've said they are struggling to find a recovery bed for me afterwards, which is great. Great news to hear when you're about going for surgery. Yeah, so they basically have gone, we're like minus 57 beds or something for like how many we need, which is just crazy. So they told me to just hold off setting off for the hospital and wait until they get back to me. What a morning. Things could not be going better. Time for another attempt at this. Today I am going for my liver biopsy. Brilliant. Okay, I'm also taking a 2mg tablet of diazepam. I haven't taken it yet. I will be taking it, and it does have some interesting effects on me. But yeah, hopefully it does the job and helps me out, helps me to get through it. Afterwards, it'll be quite sore, very sore. Last time I ended up taking the tablet, and then they rang me and said, nope, there's no bed, so you can't have it today. So that was great, and they might do it again. They might do that again, you never know. Hopefully I can just get through it this time. I'm scared, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really scared. It's not fun. It is what it is. I've got to get it done, so well, I've left the house, that's step one. Well, I've arrived at the hospital. We'll see what happens, but we know what's gonna happen. I'm just waiting. Got here a bit early, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's about 10:05, so I'm technically due to have it in about 10 minutes. We'll see. Okay, just an update. The biopsy is all done. Yeah, my liver's on the screen. Yeah, it's all done and I'm feeling very sore right now, but that's to be expected, I suppose. I look absolutely awful. And my hand is absolutely killing because I squeezed my mum's hand too hard. She was allowed in this time and I got to listen to my music. I better not laugh because that hurt. I'll see you on the ward or wherever I go. Yeah, it's done, and I'm just going to talk quietly because I don't want to make too much noise, but yeah, and I'm praying that this time it actually has a conclusive result for all the right reasons, if that makes sense. But yeah, they've got to get me some toast, and yeah, hopefully that I can feel a bit better after that. It is very sore, and it will be for a few days, essentially up to a week, they said, but it isn't nice. It's not. Got me toast. Content now. I feel like I'm seizing up in this bed. Like, I'm getting more pain from just not being able to move than I am from the actual surgery site, so just can't wait to be out of here. It's about 25 to 2 and I've got just 3 more blood pressure checks, which means that I'm going to be in for about an hour and a half more, or something like that, 2 hours, something around there, keeping you updated. I eat all my toast and I've got a half a bottle of water left. I'm trying to stop myself seizing up a little bit, so all in all, not too bad, but could get worse. It's giving Emmerdale a big week. Okay, it's an hour later. I realised I've been filming these at all the exact same time, so I've now got a tradition of trying to rest up as much as possible and relax as much as possible, but also not seizing up. Hopefully not too long, and I think it might actually be 3:15, not 3:45, that I get out of here. Not got long left in here now. Literally, like, talking about 15-20 minutes left, possibly, depending on how my last set of obs go. Excited to go home and just relax and start my recovery properly. I'm being chauffeured around now.
Hello.
Yeah, no, I've got out the bed, so that's another step complete. Yeah, so
In the wheelchair.
I'm in my wheelchair, which is a thing for now. What are you gonna do with this when we get the car? When we get the car,
Then I'll come back.
right?
I'll put the wheelchair into reception, take
Uh-huh.
the car park.
Have I got someone to help you take us in? Take in the house? All right, okay. Okay, I've made it home now. I'm just sitting about to watch the TV. Yeah, and it's probably going to get very sore soon. I'm just going to make sure that I have something to eat and then go to bed. That is about it for now, but I will keep you updated on where I'm at and sort of, yeah, take you through my journey, really. Okay, I'm sorry it's quite dark, but yeah, I just wanted to give you another update. It's pretty late now. I want to say it's around 11 o'clock. Okay, it's actually 20 past 11, so yeah, a little bit later than I thought. I've got a like makeshift bed that my mum put up that she just ordered, in fact, because she needs it for next week when she goes to stay at my sister's house. I'm using it in here while I'm in my recovery because it just saves us having to go upstairs and use extra energy that I just don't need to be using. At the minute, I'm just feeling really tired, really drained, and really quite sore. It's a weird feeling. If you someone watching this video who's gonna have it, I want to kind of give you the most insight possible. The actual pain itself isn't as bad as it was last time I had it because it's the second liver biopsy I've had. So
White or brown?
light please.
White.
Right, that one. I would light. I don't know why I said light. Alright, so I'm in the hospital. I've had done, and yeah, basically that's it. And I'm just resting for 4 hours. So I'm gonna stop talking to you. So update, I just sat in the ward. I'm just gonna wait a few hours. I need to rest and it's really helping so far, just the relaxation of everything. I'm currently just watching TV. Last time they were in doing my blood pressure, the woman was just like, oh, so should we test out the telly? Yeah, so that was fun. Updates. It's like not as bad as the first time I had it, but still relatively sore. It's like an ache with the occasional sharp pain if you move too much. That's kind of the way I would describe it. And it's not great. And I do just feel like I'm having to do loads to not seize up. I am so tired and I need to go to sleep. They told me that you have to lie flat or on your right side, preferably on your right side. I could only lie flat because it's hurting too much at the moment. Beyond that, I'm just gonna have to try and do my best. I will see what happens. I'll give you some updates tomorrow though, but I need to go to sleep now because I am absolutely knackered after a day. Okay, it's now the next day. I'm just lying down. I had a bit of a interrupted sleep, but it was in like 2 sections, which is something like I've slept worse. I slept from about 11 till 4 or half 11 till 4 or something, and then stayed up for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then went back to sleep and then woke up at about 20 to 10. So at the moment, an update on how I'm feeling physically. I'm feeling quite tired still, and obviously at the site, it's still very sore. I think that's something that usually will take about a week to go away. I feel a little bit more able to do certain things now, like I've managed to get up the stairs. Stuff like that is a lot harder for me specifically after this one because they ended up putting it in a really weird place in comparison to where most liver biopsies have ended up. I mean, a lot of the people will either get it, if I just kind of, for as a reference point, they'll either get it in the front of there or right around the side. And right around the side is where I had it last time. This time I had it directly in between one of the middle parts of my rib cage. Firstly, that's why I had it hurt so much in the actual procedure, but also my intercostal muscles are just wrecked. I'm struggling to like sit up and move around without it just really hurting and aching. So yeah, it is really sore, but equally it's not as sore as I expected it to be. So I mean, pros and cons, I guess. I'm managing, I'm doing okay. Just need to keep resting up and not do too much. Yeah, I've had my friends keeping me company over messages and phone calls and stuff, so I guess that's an update for you. I'll keep you posted with where I'm at. Alright, good morning everyone. It is now just under 2 days after, a couple of hours before the exact 2-day mark. Yeah, it's more or less 2 days. And I wanted to kind of just show you where the actual thing is at. You're supposed to take the dressing off after 48 hours. Well, you don't have to, but they say you can take it off after 48 hours. I decided for me, just based on where I was at, that I'm going to wait till tomorrow morning to take it off because it's just, I want to do everything I can to recover best I can. Don't want to risk anything. There's no harm in just waiting that extra day. But yeah, what I do want to show you is sort of what it's looking like. So if you're a bit funny with that sort of thing, then look away now and then I'm going to show you. Obviously this is on, so it can't do a lot. It's literally just a dot there, which is actually kind of, you don't really get with these. Like both last time and from what I've seen of other people, they get like patchy bits on it, but I've only had a dot, so yeah, that's something. I'm just really aching from seizing up a little bit, but I am going back to my own bed tonight because I wanted to just be in here for 2 nights, just until I got to sort of this point, and now I'm at this point, I feel like I'm okay to go back upstairs and lie in my own bed. So, I mean, I've gradually, got towards that anyway, but yeah, basically that's where I'm at. Still in pain from it. Not as bad as it was both yesterday and 2 days ago, of course. It's progress. It's getting there. I'm going to see where I'm at, I think, as I have done the whole time. Alright, so it's now 2 days later and it's the 9th of June, so 4 days after surgery. It's a process which is taking its time, but equally, it's recovering. I'm getting there. I've taken the dressing off and it's a bit of a mess, but it doesn't actually look as bad as I thought it was. I took that off yesterday, so it's fine. But yeah, I am not going to show you. But yeah, essentially, I'm on the road to recovery. Should be the bulk of it done within the next 3 days, because usually people say that it's around the week mark where everything sorts itself out a little bit. I just want to give you another update. Probably the next time I'll see you now is at that week mark, where I'll probably sit down and discuss everything with you and the whole process and how it was for me when I've got my head around it and everything. I'll see you in a few days. It is now the week mark, or over that now because it's later in the day. It's 7 days after the biopsy. I'm feeling a lot better at the moment. IS vlog tradition of cars and buses going past when I'm filming. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty decent for the most part, other than a couple of little things. Still slight elements of pain, but not much at all. Nothing worth pointing out. This is like the second time I've left the house, first time on my own since the biopsy, so we're at a pretty good point. So I think at some point soon I'm gonna sit down and properly discuss the details. Overall, pretty good. Okay, so it is now 10 days after the biopsy. It is the 15th of June, Saturday the 15th of June. The bulk of the recovery is over now. I would say that tiny, I'm talking like minuscule amounts of pain, but just to describe where it's at, which has like gradually died down and will completely go away within the next couple of days, I'm sure, because it's basically not there. In terms of the way it looks, it is gone practically. There's like the tiniest red dot and it could just be a mark on my skin. So yeah, it's practically gone. So generally that's how recoveries work. At 10 days, the bulk of it has happened. So now I just wanted to sort of sit down. Now I've got through that side of things, I wanted to sit down with you and discuss sort of the context behind it all. And basically what has been happening over the last 5 years is I, in 2019, got a blood test for a couple of things that just were completely different to what this is, and it showed that my liver function tests were elevated, my ALTs. At that point we were like, okay, that's weird, doesn't really justify any of the things I was there for, so they ended up ending and I was fine with everything else. They saw that, so they started to look into that a little bit more and they referred me to the relevant department, and so I got some investigations done on that. I had scans, other tests and more blood tests and stuff like that just to see where things were at. And I think it was the gastro department I'd been referred to, so I had numerous appointments to there. I just ended up being in a situation where I was starting to feel quite ill. I think it was around November 2019 and March 2020, I had two like kind of major episodes of sickness, which sort of at one point I was like, they were indicative of something else, which was just causing my liver to be inflamed. Usually that's what those blood tests indicate. I had more tests done and regular ones just to track the progress of where the tests were at. They were very much fluctuating and they were like, right, okay, we are going to have to try and get you in for a biopsy eventually in the absolute height of COVID. So that was fun. And so they did that, but because of COVID, it took a while for me to actually get a biopsy, and by which time I had the biopsy in March 2021 and my blood test had gone down, completely normalized. And so then the liver biopsy that they gave me wasn't conclusive enough to give them an answer to what was going on with us. By that point, obviously the blood test had normalized and I was like, right, okay, I'm feeling a lot better in myself and there's not a lot else they could do other than monitor my blood. They said that they would monitor my liver function tests annually. At that point, I had one in the July, because that was the sort of time where everything had finalized at that point. After the biopsy, it was about 3-4 months or something. Yeah, 4 months. And so at that point I had that. Then I had another blood test in the July of 2022. Again, didn't really show much, so they just continued on. It was maybe a little bit higher, but yeah. And then in 23, it was also a bit higher. Not a lot they could do because I was feeling okay. What happened was I had another sickness bug in the October, completely knocked me for 6. From there I started to feel awful, and then by the December things went downhill. I was getting to a point where I couldn't eat without feeling like I was going to just completely pass out and just divert all my attention to just letting my food digest. It was so bad. I was feeling dizzy all the time. I was having fluctuating sugar levels was the way it felt at the time. Either that or I was kind of deficient in something. I don't really know. Loads of other like really bad symptoms. I genuinely, I'm not gonna lie to you, I genuinely thought I was dying in that month. It was so bad. And it was essentially the week running up to Christmas where it was at its worst, and Christmas Eve probably was the absolute worst of it. Luckily, on Christmas Day, I actually managed. And I think you've kind of gathered that from my Vlogmas series. I was really not doing good. Like, I was trying my hardest to manage, and I somehow managed to finish it. How do I finish it in a year where I'm feeling that bad, but then can't do it in past years? I had no motivation, did I? Anyway, so that happened. After that, things very slightly started to pick up, and then I went back to uni, which then made me realise that something in this entire process, which I hadn't really noticed, was that whenever I go out and move around and exercise, to use the term loosely, in the sense of including walking around and going outside to do various things, even that, I will feel better on those type of days than I will if I'm just sitting in the house doing nothing. But yeah, something that I clicked onto from that point, because obviously I was doing really intense rehearsals. There couldn't be a more intensive rehearsal process than a chorus line, to be honest, in terms of how much dance there is in a show. But on top of that, I was also doing Only Today, which was like obviously another musical at the same time, as well as Midsummer Night's Dream with Atlas. I was doing a lot, and so that made me feel immediately a lot better. I haven't felt as bad as I did then since I've been doing these performances and since uni. Obviously the risk now was that I've now finished uni. Anyway, since then I still had symptoms, and it was just still quite challenging. And so basically what I had to do, I got to a point where my bloods were still elevated, and I had to have another biopsy because that's what the consultant recommended to me. I had a biopsy booked in at the beginning of April, which was the Easter holidays, and was the only thing that I would be able to navigate with university and not completely wreck everyone else's chances of being able to do that. That got cancelled because they didn't have a bed, so then they rebooked it for the time I was supposed to be in London for the Odyssey reunion, and I couldn't do that either, and so I then had to rebook it for the beginning of June, but I don't think they were particularly happy about that. But it just had to be done then. And my bloods were still elevated, so realistically, it shouldn't be the thing of it being inconclusive like the last one. It's just more, for me, the anxiety of just not knowing what they're going to say is just, yeah, it's very difficult. But 10 days to go, and then I'll find out what is going on, hopefully. I pray. Basically, that's what has happened over the last 5 years, and I just wanted to kind of explain that in some detail. Yeah, I mean, really, what they've been recently investigating me for is a condition called autoimmune hepatitis. They think in terms of my bloods that it really does indicate something like that, which is difficult. I'll have to manage if that's what it is. It can't be helped. I don't know for sure that it's that. I don't know for sure what's wrong with me. So I just have to wait and see what happens. But I wanted to make a video about my biopsy this time because I want to give people an awareness of what that's like. Yeah, in terms of the biopsy procedure, I'll just go into that in a bit more detail. So yeah, in terms of the biopsy procedure, what actually happened was that I went to a waiting area. I just sat there for a little bit before my appointment time. It was like 10:15 or something. I was sat there, I got called through, I walked down the corridor and went around, and it was weird. It was a really weird experience because the last time I was on so much medication, I was on like lorazepam quite a bit. And I was like, I don't know where I am, to be honest. I think at the time, obviously, I would have known what my surroundings were. Afterwards, I completely forgot what it was. And I was like, I don't remember sitting in this waiting area at all when I was there the second time. So, yeah. Then I got up and I was like, my memory has been jogged now. I know what I'm doing. And I know where I am. So, yeah. And then I went into the room. They explained to me what the procedure was. And they were like, okay, now I need you to sign this consent form. So I did it. I lied down and they did the biopsy. Basically, they put a smaller needle in first, which is the worst part. Well, actually, first, they spend a good amount of time of the procedure doing like an ultrasound scan. They don't do anything to you at first. They just put the thing on with the cold cream and then they just look around to find a suitable location for them to put the needle in. So then once they find that, they mark it on your skin with the blue marker or whatever colour they do. So they put a mark on your skin and then they use that for reference and then they'll put the needle in. But it's the first one is just a smaller needle. I'm doing that. They do like a smaller needle for the local anaesthetic. Unfortunately for me, this time it didn't really work, not to the full extent. I'd also had some anxiety medication. It was diazepam this time, and that also didn't really work. So it wasn't a great procedure for me, to be honest. But I got through it. But I think equally it helped me in a sense having more of an awareness because I knew knew what was going on, and I wasn't coming back into it and being like, oh my God, what's happened? You know, I wasn't like zoning back into the world, if you will. I was already there. So that helped. But yeah, then once they've put the local anesthetic in, they then grab the bigger needle and put it into where they've put that marker. Yes, that also hurts. That also hurt a lot because the anesthetic didn't work. It wouldn't hurt if the anesthetic didn't really, like, some of it worked, so it wasn't absolutely agonizing, like I wasn't absolutely screaming at it, but it wasn't great and I was still feeling pain. This is hard to go back. It's actually hard to think about, to be honest. I'm thinking back to the pain that I was feeling. It's like it's almost like something in between a stapler and a pair of scissors. Like they like snap it off and it makes a like clicking sound, like they like basically just take off a bit of your liver and then they take it out and then it's done. And they put a bit of dressing over it. That's sort of what happens. Just to give anyone who's having it a bit of awareness, there are parts to it which really aren't great, but also there are parts of it where you barely notice it. If you do struggle with anxiety and you need to get something to help you, then take it, like, because they do let you. If it's something like that won't completely wipe you out and make you unaware and unable to sign a consent form and stuff, then obviously don't do that. But if it's something which is a lot lighter and still has a decent enough effect, then yeah, go for it, because they don't want you to be suffering in there. They just need to do the procedure, but they want to make you as comfortable as possible. The ultrasound bit takes up most of it, and the whole thing is over in like a matter of 2 to 3 minutes max. As soon as they put the first needle in, it's over within like 3 minutes. So honestly, it's really quick, and that does help a lot, because it means that before you know it, you're out and in the recovery bed afterwards. So like I say, there are things which make it not as bad as you would think. Obviously it's a biopsy, so it's going to be difficult. If you need any advice, just ask me anything in the comments. It's seriously, like, I'm more than happy to give you any answers that you need. But I hope this has helped, and if any of you are having a biopsy, that it goes really well for you all and that everything works out. I will keep you posted on my channel about how that appointment goes. I'll let you know sort of where my health situation is at after I've had that appointment. I'll probably make another video. Yeah, that will be it for today's video, so I hope you have enjoyed it as much as you could enjoy a video like this. Please leave a like, drop a comment down below, let me know anything that you need to know. My outro doesn't really work for this, and please subscribe to keep up to date with my content. But yeah, as I said, that's going to be it for today. So leave a like, drop a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!